Hello.
Hey,
Good day.
you missed the ceremony.
Never heard about a ceremony.
Oh. Sana and Lothran got married.
Oh. Good for them. I'm glad that they are able to find some sort of happiness in this place.
Yeah. It seems a couple days ago, some ravaged beast came through.
Seems so. I was doing a bit of uninvited poking around earlier.
We all were. Stopped at the northeastern outpost. I think that's where it all started.
Northeastern outpost?
The outpost to the northeast of New Asgard. There are no tracks leading out of it, only from it.
I see. Join I, brother. We'll have more Bannerlord in the next few days.
Hey. Hey.
Is anything known about this outpost?
No, just... They were massacred. Is probably the most brutal of all of them.
Of all of them. As in, this is something that has happened before.
No. The body was dragged here. Originally, the body was from the outpost up there. Whatever did it, dragged it down the cliffside and over. And massacred the people at that outpost. And if you go further north, you will find another body of a hunter and his companion. completely shredded.
I see.
Keep going north. You find the northeast outpost. But nothing. I'm just tired.
Oh. Well, you're free to go to sleep if you'd like.
Are you staying up?
For a little bit.
I can
Not too
stay
much
up.
longer. Yeah.
Here. You want to show her with me?
Yeah, we can. Well, why don't we start at the back first, because everything's right there, and then we'll make the run on.
The tracks lead out that gate right there, where it smashed through. So,
Had free reign to do so. Verosa did some scouting around in the area and found a number of issues further up north, towards Asgarth.
Indeed. That tower that overlooks up there, there's usually a camp of some Nords up there. It is quiet, and if you go up a little bit further north into the, east, where all those wolves are, there's unfortunately a mutilated body of a Nord hunter and its companion animal. There is, if you go to New Asgard and you listen to the people talking there, there are rumors circulating about how there is some sort of large beast that comes out at night and has been terrorizing New Asgard, and the hunters have gone after it, but obviously the hunters aren't successful, as I found their body. And there's also the camp, I believe is called Meta Watch, up to the north. That entire camp has been decimated. There is blood and gore and bodies everywhere. There is also a large cave that has opened up near New Asgard,
Would Tyr be a cavalry or
which used to
infantry?
be open, but is
Camp
now seems
follower.
to have some rubble in the way, so to speak, and the air
She's a
sucks
support
in
unit.
toward it, and you can also, there's a foul, rotting stench behind the cave-in or rubble or whatever it is, which might be its lair. I don't know, but I want you to be aware of that because it is literally in your area. I would advise not traveling alone, perhaps, just in case. That's my suggestion.
I believe this is probably something we should take care of.
Sooner
But-
than later, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever manage to follow these tracks south? It looks like they're heading off the pathway from the north.
I did not travel south. I just went to the north because I saw the blood trail that also headed toward the north, and so I haven't gone scouting south.
I tried to look around the wall and I couldn't find any other tracks leading southernwards. So I don't know if it scaled the wall somewhere along the lines or found a different entry point and descended into the desert.
Tyr at the point of like, I've done everything I can for him.
But
Katsu, do you want to get changed into your armor? I'll get changed into mine. You can always take a look, see if you can find it.
He just needs time now.
Like, have a quick look around at the top of the cliff. There's on the other side. See if I can see anything.
Me and Ren and Shisu here went over the cliff here and searched so much of that area looking for anything and couldn't find anything.
Did you potentially go over to the den area?
Yes. We didn't search much of that, but we ran through a bunch of it to look for anything, and we didn't see anything. We saw all of the camps that had been absolutely obliterated over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a blood trail that goes very far.
I mean, Tyr would be healing the
Indeed.
inside too. Like, she has the ability.
Lauren, if you would be willing, if we gather everyone up, would you be able to explain more about these creatures, the risks they carry, that sort of thing?
of course, you have every right to know.
Alright. Everyone go down to the first floor of the tea house, or get out of your nice outfits first. I'm gonna go get
Take
you.
control.
Yes.
There's not one day without armor.
Yes, I chose a great time to come around.
Hello, Tyr.
Yes, you did.
We'll have to get the door replaced as well. Maybe reinforce it.
Yes. Maybe we need to put a guard gate as well.
Yes. We used to have one there. I don't know what happened to them.
They went to guard the Inferno.
Ah, yes. There's more tracks here. I don't remember this mound of dirt being here.
No. Do you think it might have buried something?
That's a question for once you get out of your nice suit.
Yes, I want to check up that way as well. That's the only place that doesn't have a wall.
Guess I'll just throw my armor on then.
How do you see your ship limit? It's default 3.
Also, what does actually happen with the body?
Let me show you.
Actually, we can send...
Yeah, for the brain thoughts, that's Kaida's job.
Now there's a rather large hole in it.
Oh, the
Yeah, unless you get a
animals are
perk
not
to raise your
very
ship
happy
lit,
right
it is
now.
default 3.
I will get changed and then see.
Alright.
I'm not gonna touch the body to get covered in blood.
Since they are your animals, it wouldn't hurt, but you could always talk to them in beast speech to see what they saw.
That's true.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Tyr's actually gonna put on armor because she doesn't trust anyone. It's Tyr's entire story arc. She doesn't trust anybody anymore. Tyr alone, armor. Not the alone again. Hello. No, shit. There we go. Where's the tea house again?
If you go over that bridge in there, it's that building right there.
The main
The door's open. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
I probably should hide the ears with this helmet too. They just be swallowed up by the little horn things. Yeah, I'm just gonna. There we go. Should probably update this scar to be worse.
I've just done a double take, and yes, exactly as I thought I saw.
Hmm?
Just, I was not expecting to see Shizu being the one carried.
Was thinking.
making sure they're okay.
Hello, Haruto.
Hi, Cheer.
Bryn, do you know where, words are hard. Names and words are hard.
What are you trying to say?
Do you know where Verosa is?
Where what?
Verosa.
Tea
Oh,
house.
inside the tea house, like everybody was asked to go into by Yukari.
We'll be in there in a few moments. We're just getting some information and then we're gonna come in.
We really need to fix all these windows in this tea house.
Verosa, when you were searching to the south, to the north, did you notice any other tracks?
Just the blood trails.
Okay, but no actual tracks. Interesting.
Not like what was seen by the gate, no.
I have a suspicion there may have been more than one, as the guards told me that they heard growling from some kind of wolf-like creature from behind the pavilion to where these tracks are, and then when they heard that, this man crawled up to them from the north, very wounded. If it was the same creature, why was it not there? Apparently they heard... I don't know, it's strange, like, whatever this creature was, disemboweled this man and then circled around and came behind the pavilion rather than following the man to disembowel.
I'm
Yeah,
on
that's
the
the
what is
one.
your...
Once everyone's here, we'll fully explain it, but yes, the possibility that there's more than one is very high.
Haruto? Is he in the tea house? Someone out there to speak to you.
Alright.
Oops, sorry, Turtle.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
You know, it's crazy that
Cinematic?
Do we want to wait for those who just stepped out, or should we begin?
We can clue them in.
Very well then. I will keep this as simple as possible.
Empress tier.
What has transpired
That'd be a
the other
crazy
evening to now more than likely was perpetrated by a werewolf of my country. The difference in lycanthropy, as you know it from where I come from, is different. It all starts with the summoning of what we call daemons from what we refer to as the Fade. It's not necessarily an infernal creature as you can think of it, it's more of a manifestation of a raw, singular emotion given consciousness. In this particular case, it is a daemon of hunger. At one point, it possessed a human. While
Be
they
a
were
crazy
still
ass
alive,
timeline, Empress tier.
thus resulting in the transformation into a werewolf. From this point on, it can propagate its curse by biting another creature. Once they are afflicted with this curse, they are constantly given intrusive thoughts of hunger and starvation to the point of madness. Reaching that point, they begin to mutate. Physical changes that are irreversible. Even if the curse is lifted, even if their mind can be restored to them, the physical changes will not be undone. I am one of these afflicted individuals. Though back in my country we had been working on methods of curing this curse through other means. The most that we have been able to amount to, though, is simply stonewalling it. We've made a medication that allows those who are cursed to separate themselves from the Fade, though at the cost of their emotions. I am a blatant example of this, to say the least. During some time past, several weeks ago, we had an incursion within Aramor. I believe at this point the werewolf that is dominant in my line of the curse was brought to these lands, and during the events with the calendar had remained hidden up until things started to calm down. It has then since more than likely attacked New Asgarth and its surrounding settlements, collecting those that it could get a hold of, spreading the curse, and filling in its numbers, creating a much larger pack.
Is this curse
Obviously.
only spread through biting, or can it be through scratches? How exactly is it transferred?
It's explicitly done through biting.
Yes, Simon and Lothran have been married, Jack.
This, werewolf, as you call it, this creature that's created by hunger, are they able to hide what they look like, as it were, or will they be stuck as this wolf-like creature, definitely?
As I stated before, the mutations are that. Mutations. It is not a transformation. This is a permanent change of the physical form. If they somehow can change their appearance, that's more of a case of magic at play, illusionary tricks.
of the century.
Do we know if this creature can use magic or not?
More than likely not. Daemons aren't known for
Yeah.
magic per se, it's more of raw power that they exude through the strength of the emotion in which they are manifested from.
And if, as you say, it invites someone to expand its pack, these mutations do not take roots and change them all immediately into.
You might need to clear your voice, Taketsu. Your helmet is obscuring words.
One potential.
I got the gist of the question. As I
Or
said,
would someone be able to place a spell on them to hide their appearance?
hiding the wound?
Yes, this creature that did this, the original. Say, for example, it bit someone, they are freshly bitten, not fully mutated yet. Would they still have access to their magics to be able to hide what this hungry one looks like?
So long as they have the mental capacity to use it. As I said, the intrusive thoughts that they are inflicted with drive them to madness. They lose their sense of self. And I would assume they would lose any capacity to use their magic at that point.
I spoke to our wolves outside to see if they had any information for us. They described it as a great wolf, an alpha. Or they heard an alpha.
Farewell, Sir Maddox.
Then more than likely, the pack leader was the one that perpetrated the attack that night then.
Have we mentioned the whole bipedal thing?
I've quite straightly said this is a werewolf, so...
Alright, perfect.
Yes.
Is there any way to protect from the curse apart from not getting bitten? Is there any safeguards that we can do?
You're looking at him. I perfected the medication that helps me stay disconnected from the Fade. That's only though when I'm awake. Since then, with its proximity, the connection I have to the Fade at night when I'm asleep is much stronger. Your ward has been doing its work ever since that you gave it to me. So, in combination with the medicine and a ward, someone can sustainably not go mad and also not transform. But the consequence of that would be being deprived of your emotions for as long as it takes for the curse to be lifted.
If we are going to be tracking this creature, are there any weaknesses that we should be aware of that it may have that will help us defend ourselves against it?
Weaknesses is hard to describe, mostly due to the fact that it does share a number of weaknesses that the daemons themselves have. Magics that disrupt emotions particularly, but it's technically hard to disrupt the sensation of hunger. But that isn't the primary issue, given that their mental state is not one to be compliant to weakness, per se. Harming it won't slow it down, it will just keep fighting, as it's driven further and further into a frenzy. Simply put, hit it until it stops moving is typically the method in which works suitably.
I think as well, as long as you can keep its attention and keep it out of reach, illusions might work.
That is possible.
It thinks it's prey.
I was gonna say, illusionary magic seems to be a main way of probably keeping it at bay. If it possible to have it be obscured, trying to find ways to at least temper its emotion while you could put it down. Goddess, I wish we had silence or something, because I imagine some form of suppression. I'm trying to think of some magic off the top of my head. I wish it was a thaumaturgist.
Congratulations on becoming the Fed.
Constantly hungry. I'm sorry for using you for this, Tyr, but due to Tyr's affliction, would it see Tyr as a viable prey or not?
Given the fact that Tyr is undead, it would probably ignore them. Attack them to get rid of them, but spreading the curse to them might not even be effective.
That was the question I had, if it could even spread the infection to me.
Your primary worry would be if the daemon were to be deprived of its host, which the only method in which we need to get rid of the daemon is to first deprive it of its host. If it's ever given a chance to repossess something else, living or dead, the daemon is a threat to both. Though I would not suspect you turn into a werewolf, the transformation can vary, especially given the wide variety of different creatures in these lands. There's no telling what it could potentially transform into if it possesses something else other than a human.
A daemon of hunger with me would probably be terrible.
Due to the adjacency of it being a werewolf, at least in form, would silver be effective at all, or is that just not gonna happen?
Silver doesn't have nearly much of a position of power in our country. We have tried it from folktale, but it has no more or less an effect as any other bladed weapon.
Damn it. Alright then, it gets rid of one option.
I'm sorry to say, the Fade is a complicated matter.
If it's a
in
daemon,
our country,
would divinity at all work against it?
Again, it's not so simple. Our terminology is similar, but the creature isn't. It's not an infernal being, it's the manifestation of hunger. Would you consider hunger to be a demonic force?
Alright. I get the problem.
So it's a corruption of base instincts.
Exactly. Just the indulgence of hunger gone wrong. Constantly, to get as detailed as possible on the concept of a daemon in our country, daemons are formed by a coalescence of one singular emotion or sensation felt on a much greater scale. A collective thought of hunger, probably formed during the midst of a famine. In the Fade, this sensation is felt ad nauseum. It begins and doesn't end. Over and over and over, and more times it's felt by more people. It just keeps building until eventually it spawns something of its own consciousness. That's when it becomes a daemon. But while it's trapped within the Fade, it's more or less harmless. It's when someone pulls back the veil and breaches the Fade, where it can slip through into our reality, that's when it becomes a problem.
Do you think it's likely to attack here again?
With how many people that live here, all the potential for food. Yes. And after what you and I did before, Yukari, it more than likely saw you, given the fact that it came here.
That might make me a target then. That's good to know. We could always use that.
I'd rather you not be bait for this thing.
Of course, that's an idea for the back burner if we're out of ideas, but... we can't just let it wander around and cause havoc.
Of course. Originally, the goal that I came to these lands with was to find a cure for not only the blight in our country, but also a cure to this curse. But as time has passed, I have stopped deluding myself to the possibility that the only hope that I have to free myself of it is to do what must be done, and that is kill the host of my curse and eventually the daemon. I know the concept of killing a sensation is awkward, but once it is here in the physical plane, it also has its own body that can be slain. And once it is, the
battled in a
curse is
central
broken.
manifestation of a hungry void. This is not uncommon. If it is here, then we will help you kill it.
Thank you. I'm sorry, and I apologize profusely for bringing my curse onto your front door.
You have nothing to apologize for. As I have said before, and I will continue to say, I understand the risks of helping people with curses. And I would do so again and continue to help you.
No, fuck that furry fuck.
I will also say this. Killing this daemon will free not just myself of this curse, but any Eramorians back in our home country who are also under the same medication that I am to keep themselves from changing as well. And potentially any of the new Asgardians who have yet to change.
It might be worth taking some of this medicine up as Asgard then.
Yes, we should return the body to them as well for their burial rites.
And I will say this as well. In the chance that any of the werewolves that have fully changed are also freed of the curse, they may not change back, but it is possible for them to regain their sense of self, that they can return to being people in the mind. But it is likely that they may be ostracized for what they are.
Shisu, Morrigan,
Yes.
will you document the guards' statements and then, amongst yourselves, can you put them in strategic, safe positions to keep watch, but mayhaps buy them some time if this creature returns?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's try to keep at least two of them together, or at least inside each other as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can do.
If it comes to it, we can always hire a few more guards.
We can also probably get the one back from Sepamaru. If everyone is fully settled back in. Oh, Taketsu, did you take a look where the tracks were inside at that mound of dirt? Did you take a look and dig it up, or?
No, I just checked the tracks to begin with before I went to dig it up. I didn't want to destroy anything. It seems that at least that creature, whether it's the same one that attacked the man at the front or not, entered through the gate and left through the same gate.
Yeah, went southbound.
Yeah, they kind of walked in through the gate. I don't know when the gate was destroyed, but it came in the gate, wandered around the grounds, around the back for a little while, and then left through the same gate.
I have also asked our wolves to keep watch. So if we hear a sudden howl, that might be a warning.
The sooner that we deal with this, the sooner we can prevent a large enough pack to be formed that it could start threatening any settlement without any form of retaliation.
All right. So I think then, and correct me if you don't think this is a good idea, we should take some of that medication in the body back to New Asgarth and then see where this possible hideout is. And then once we know where that is, we can formulate a plan mayhaps to strike back. If not tomorrow, then the next day, whenever works for everyone.
I would suggest trying to find out where these tracks head to the south. We don't know whether that's the same creature or a different creature. Whatever it was that was behind the pavilion did not seem to attack anyone. There were multiple guards close by. It didn't attack, so it might be something that could help us if it is a different creature. If it is the same one, they may have multiple places to hide, but just going after one place might not be the best idea.
Do we want to split into 2 teams then?
I wouldn't investigate this cave too closely at all, honestly, at this point. We don't know enough.
I just want to know its location and get a general overview of the area. I'm not going into the cave.
No, that's perfectly fine. I just don't want to go walking into a cave and have another group of them, if it is capable of creating packs, as it has been said, appear behind us and trap us in the cave.
Oh no, we're not going to have a herald situation, don't worry. We are only going to observe from a safe distance.
Speaking about such, did we get confirmation that it was shipped off?
So they have told us, but we haven't checked where we know it's called home.
Okay, because what if, theoretically speaking, this is just me thinking of ahead of things, what if the Herald collected flesh of this shade, now is using its form to play its game, and actually it turns out to be the Herald in the end?
Well,
I don't think so. It doesn't feel like it.
To begin with, the Herald would need to firstly kill its host in order to attempt to take anything from the daemon itself. And if it did, I'm fairly sure I would feel something, a disruption in what has happened to me. And even then, I would not imagine the Herald getting away cleanly from a daemon of hunger. If anything, I'm fairly certain the Herald would not be able to stand a chance against it.
But
Not by
maybe
itself,
that's
at least.
maybe that's exactly what it wants. Remember, it can just reform. We have checked over these corpses for things that were taken and never found anything. What if the goo is just a way to transport such things back to where it has to go to transform? Maybe it lets this beast take the Herald down and it just takes something from it. This is just me pondering.
In all likelihood, I don't think so.
All right.
Given the fact of what we know already, and the fact that Yukari may have accidentally revealed herself to it, trying to examine my curse, I feel strongly that this is the pack leader of my curse, and not the herald trying to masquerade itself as it.
If it helps settle your worries, Shizu, we can always go check that out and see if they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing as well is that this herald seems to have mistaken what I said to it when it was here with Venrus, and for some reason it now refuses to attack any member of the pavilion unless we attack it first. It seems to think that that was the deal that was made with it, when all I told it was to leave us alone and go away. Hunting is an infirmary.
That's alright. I was just thinking ahead, but myself and Morgan will be getting the guards sorted, investigate something, and then possibly hire a few more. One or
Alright.
two for now.
The other thing I would say is, if I'm going to dig up this mound, probably do it before we head over to New Asgard, that there may be stuff in there that would be relevant to them.
Yes, let's do that now. Unless anyone else has any other questions or anything they'd like to say.
Regarding its physical capabilities, considering the fact that we could see it bash through a gate, how does it fare against steel? Would it be able to just cut it through butter, or... I just want to know what we're actually facing against physically.
In our country, killing these things has been a difficult trial. Yes, blades work on it. It's not immune. It's not invincible. It's just really hard to kill.
I definitely think everyone should be doubling up on plates for their armor as well. Try and make it as thick as possible without sacrificing maneuverability. If this thing clamps its teeth on you, it's you're not gonna have a good time.
Chainmail, gambeson, make sure that we have that all prepared.
Mm-hmm.
If in doubt, throw
These
your neighborhood
creatures-
vampire at it.
Sorry, Tyr. Thank you for your sacrifice, Tyr.
That's what I do.
I'll emphasize this. Trying to bite it back is probably just going to make it bite you more.
I didn't think biting it would be a good idea in the first place. It's generally not my go-to option.
Just advising.
Appreciate it. All the same, just, letting you know, not really anything that was in the cards in the first place.
Anyways,
Alright.
these creatures...
Look at this mount. Oh, sorry, Lawrence.
I was just going to emphasize that these creatures work off of frenzy. They will go above and beyond what physical trauma that they've been under to keep on attacking. They lack any sense of self-preservation.
So if a fight is begun, finish it.
I'm wondering if there's a way to preempt it, I suppose, if we manage to see it before it attacks us. If there's a way to sense some kind of calming emotions or magics towards it.
Well, it will be, scientifically speaking, the first time it's ever been done.
So make sure to be either you're going to try that somewhere very tall, or very fortified, or very safe.
Can I mention one query that I have?
You may.
Of course.
The thing that's interesting, because Chortle and I awoke to this and investigated everything earlier today as well. But the thing I find interesting that if it is more than one creature, why didn't they attack any of the guards here or anything here at all? If they act purely on frenzy, how did nothing get injured here at all?
Out of all of them, the Packmaster is somewhat sentient, or best way to describe it as sentient is the daemon can still think for itself. Its host is already mad. and probably lost to whatever force that's puppeteering it now. And the rest of the pack do adhere to its orders. So, if it could keep its pack in line, then potentially it's probing.
And it may just be looking for me.
So just like a well-oiled machine, like a proper frickin' Houndmaster, it was able to just go sneak in, drop a body, get out. Is that what it's saying?
More along the lines of it probably fed its pack mates, the Asgardians, just so that it wouldn't attack here.
There's always a possibility that if this one that was behind the pivot, they may not even be with this Packmaster, I suppose you could call it. Maybe someone that he has, or they have attempted to turn at one point, and that person may have found a way to slow or stop it, possibly, or keep some kind of semblance of control themselves.
Right, I wasn't able to take as close of a look at any of the bodies to see if they had been eaten in any way outside of being eviscerated from the looks of it and torn apart, essentially. I just found it odd that it would attack so frantically in those other areas, and then here there would be next to nothing. It's just odd.
I can't begin to understand its machinations inside its head right now. Though it has connection to me, I don't have necessarily any access to its mind.
Is there a way to confirm that it's something that is directly related to you outside of an assumption?
Yukari managed to trace my curse right to the Packmaster.
But does it have some sort of like something that it does that would give away that it is that exactly, outside of being something perhaps separate? I'm just curious if there's a way to tell.
I spoke to our wolves outside. They saw another wolf.
Perhaps I'm just looking for like confirmation that there's a way to tie it to Lawrence in some way so we know that's exactly what we're facing versus... I mean, there's those where the Jabal Sogs or whatever they're called down not far from here either. But just some way of, I guess, verification for us, or if there's a way to really tell that it is what it is outside of keeping our mind open, I suppose.
The only way to do that would be for me to attempt to look at the Packmaster again, and that comes at great risk of possibly becoming cursed myself.
Oh, no, that's why I'm saying if there's a way he knows that makes it easy to tell, like a, like a calling card kind of thing.
If I may, the Packmaster, when it fled our country, or at least the location in which we hunted it down initially before it bit me, it was armor-plated. My guess is back in that time, the Darkspawn had tried to weaponize daemons possessing people to further their own ends during that blight. So this one, more than likely, is still armored.
So if we see that, then we'll know for sure.
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
People said that some of the people at New Asgarth were talking. Mayhaps they saw something.
They were, yes, at the front gates. Good to listen
We also
again.
need to follow these tracks and seemingly head south as well.
We did look pretty extensively and found nothing, but it's always worth it to have more eyes.
I wish we had midnight.
Yeah.
I'd say, Chief Morrigan, after you've sorted out these guards, if you would mind looking into these tracks and see if we head south.
We will do. What would you like us to do with the body for now?
we're gonna return it to New Asgarth. I think it should be returned to the people that would respect it the right way to bury it.
Alright. I will leave the one of the guards in the construct in front of the tent as long as it's still in there.
Alright.
I'm gonna go armor up.
And now, the hour has grown immensely late for myself and Verosa. We are going to return home to rest.
Of course. Is there anything that you would like to take a look at the body first to see if you can find a link, a connection?
Has anyone actually looked at the body?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the body myself, and from my cursory glance, internal organs were ripped out of their midsection, more than likely to be eaten.
It is more, I suppose, if he has any weapons, if there's any scraps of clothing or fur or something in his hand or on his weapon, if he managed to fight back at all, it might give us an idea of either what this creature is wearing or what color its fur may be, so that we are knowing what to look out for. I suppose it's going to be obvious when we see it, but...
An armored lycanthrope is... Well, I'd imagine
They
that's
were
pretty
intended-
standout.
They were intended for war, so they probably wanted it to stay alive for as long as possible when they threw it at us.
So this man, I'm wondering if he crawled all the way here from New Asgard, or if that creature dropped him somewhere.
I can show you there's a blood trail down this side of this cliff right below that little outpost right there. It literally goes down the cliffside and hits the ground.
Although if he's lost most of his internal organs, I don't think he would have been able to walk there, so he...
Well,
I suppose
it's tough
my
to
own
say
question-
if he had run from there and was followed here or not, given other people were attacked there, right? But there is blood that pools down that cliffside right there and comes down to the ground over here.
It isn't the lack of organs that kills a man instantly when they are gone, it is the trauma. If he could sustain the trauma, then theoretically speaking, he could wander over here.
Hmm.
So long as his heart kept beating.
Depends how severely he would have been bleeding. By the amount of blood, it looked pretty severe. And rather a long distance. I suppose we don't know where he was attacked. It must have been at the tower.
There's a lot of blood down that cliffside, so I don't know if it's from what happened within the tower itself and it was running down the cliffside, or if perhaps it was this person here who may have caused it when they were maybe attempting to come here, or the beast itself.
I'd say this beast, if he has an overpowering sense of hunger, probably wouldn't have dropped off a meal here. Probably more likely he crawled here. And the reason why he didn't finish him off was probably because of the amount of guards, people around. Probably did not feel confident enough. As Lawrence said, he has some form of sentience, ability to plan. Tipping his hand that early in a fight that he was not certain of would have been risky. Better to build up his strength and then attack us when they are confident, if they are willing to do that. There are easier targets nearby, obviously.
Considering it's a daemon of hunger, I doubt it got fed, but perhaps it had already eaten what it wanted to eat as well.
Seems a lot of the outer villages still were unharmed as well, so perhaps they are the most at risk.
Those with larger populations could probably fend it off, heard it enough to want it to retreat. But if it were to throw fully transformed at these encampments, even if they're only individuals, they would fight until death.
So best to assume that only the pack leader would have a self-preservation instinct.
At least the daemon wants to keep its current host. That's what I understand it, at least. Because if its host died, it leaves the body. And then it's either forced to possess something else or risk being harmed itself.
Can the daemon be contained in an object?
Mages have attempted to corral daemons that they've managed to bring into reality from the Fade. They have not been wholly successful, and the ones that have, the sacrifice probably did not outweigh the success.
Okay, good to know. So, essentially, what's probably gonna happen if we have to fight this thing, there's going to be, for lack of a better term, 2 stages to this fight. We'll have to deal with the initial wolf, and then we'll have to deal with the daemon, right?
Correct.
Alright.
Where did you guys say that cave was again that you came across?
It should be directly north of New Asgarth. Just along that cliff, or not cliff, that wall of rock that is just northern of New Asgarth. We stumbled upon it on accident one day. It was empty back then, but I remember where it is.
Well, we won't hold you up too much longer. I know you were both trying to get some rest.
I hope that all of you can rest to some extent.
One eye open, I suppose.
We'll come back tomorrow.
Just gonna say, I assume you may be at some risk as well.
I'm fully aware of that. But for now, I hope all of you will be safe this evening.
Safe travels.
Stay safe.
And, we will. We have each other.
Good. Good night.
Good night.
Rest well,
Good night.
Lance, Rosa.
Good night, Rose.
As much as I'd like to help myself, I am...
You're also retiring?
Yes, it is late.
Good night, dear.
Good night.
Night, dear.
And I find myself oddly weary. Actually, no, that's not odd. I've been fucking working on a patient for 3 days.
Is everyone alright? What happened?
they are alive and they are recovering. It has just been a lot.
Yeah, I can understand.
Much
Go
to
get
mend.
your rest. Ugh. Go get your rest. You deserve it.
Thank you. I'm falling asleep in my chair, so I'm gonna actually call it long before I meant to. Though in reality I probably should go to bed now anyways, so that I can be awake tomorrow for things. Ugh. Yeah. For now, you will raid the Thimble Knight. Though I think most everyone here is probably someone I stole from Thimble when I started streaming. Yes, I am shockingly tired, and I really should do work tomorrow, so it's okay. I shall see you all next time, whenever that might be, because I am balancing Bannerlord this and Weird RP. But I don't think I'll be doing very much Weird until this season's actually out. But we'll see. Ta for now.